Hey guys, welcome back to Arry the Stag. TR Tony out here in the garage, literally just grabbing an hour whilst I can before we're going out for a pizza with some friends tonight. So things to do this afternoon. You know, I've been making some good inroads on the driver's seat and the passenger seat at the front. They're both now done, stripped into kind of skeletal form, and they're going to go off to be shot blasted and powder coated in due course. This afternoon I just want to tackle the rear seat and see what I can rescue there. Now the rear seat was not in a very good state at all when we first found UNY 49M. In fact, it actually had a lake in it, and I'll show you the evidence in a moment. But I've also done some research this morning just to see whether or not there are any seat foams available anywhere, and it looks like it's pretty difficult to get hold of any of them. So I've got to go with trepidation this afternoon just to see how I get on, but I'm going to experiment, see how much I can pull this rear seat to pieces, and therefore see if there's anywhere that we can save it or reutilise it in some way or shape or form. Wish me luck. Here is the rear seat squab, the one that you actually sit on, and as you can see, you could argue maybe the vinyl would come up with a bit of good kind of polishing and whatever and some stuff. I'm not convinced. I think it's all sunken down. You can see here, just talking about the lake. When we bought this car, I'm not joking, it had a puddle in this thing. It's around that kind of level. You can still see the seaweed that was left behind many years ago now when we first got the car, almost 3 years ago now. But it's just interesting. So I'm going to have a look on the flip side in just a second to see what the foam is like underneath. My sense is it's not brilliant, but I'm going to do everything that I can to see if I can save it. And obviously we'll get a new cover rather than trying to refurbish this one. We might just get away with it, but I don't think the amount of money we're going to put into this car, it would do it any favours at all. So let's just have a look at the underside and see what we're up against there before we start to peel these covers back. Looking at the base, as you can see, I don't think there's too much to these seats. For me, it's mainly wire, and the seat squab front is obviously metal. That doesn't look too bad, he says, although there's a bit of rust there actually. Just looking up there, it's not looking too good. I'll have a quick look at that and see what's left of it. It doesn't look too bad, he says. This is how it is. Obviously it's all held together with bits of hessian, it would appear to be, but the foam appears to be quite crumbly underneath. I think we're just going to have to go very gingerly and see how this comes apart. Wish us luck, as I say, and let's hope we can rescue this in some way, shape or form. And as before, I think we're pretty familiar with the routine now, having done the front seats. These plastic clips, metal clips, are coming off, those that haven't rusted away. This rear trailing edge of the seat that abuts onto the very back of the cabin, as you can see, probably had some hessian, I think, around it at some point with the cover over the top of that. It is coming away slowly but surely. I'll just keep working it through. Some parts of metal don't look too bad, other parts look a bit dodgy, so we'll just keep going and see how we get on and see what is revealed. Beauty always in the eye of the beholder, isn't it? And actually, as I've taken this to bits, I don't know if you can see here, there's bits of cloth, I think, or hessian or whatever, that have been glued. Initially it looked like rust coming off in spades, but actually I think it's just more webbing and kind of material that has obviously been glued on to glue the cover on when they first did this thing. Parts of it aren't looking too bad as a metal frame. I'm more concerned, I think probably that could come up with a very gentle clean up and maybe some powder coating. I think it's mainly there, solid, he says. Might look horrendous, but I think we're okay. These main parts here are sturdy, and in fact the whole thing does lift up, so it's kind of quite a funny old contraption, really, isn't it? There's not hardly anything to it. It obviously is all mostly padding, because I guess it sits on the rear body tub at the back on the floor, so in that way it doesn't have to take sprung kind of membranes like the front seats do up off the floor, so that's good. More concerned, as I say, about the condition of this seat squab, which really doesn't look too brilliant at all. Let me just have a dig into it and see what I can find, but it's not looking too hot. Now this isn't pretty at all, because it looks like there's been quite a lot of contact adhesive used in the manufacturing process, which means this seat squab, which is already pretty awful, is sticking to the actual cover itself, if you follow me underneath. So I'm just trying to work around it to see what I can get out of it. I'll persevere, but I'm not filled with confidence at the moment. We'll have to see what we can finally end up once I've teased it away from the cover it's stuck to, and hopefully will come off in one piece. Having wrestled it for about 20 minutes, I think you can see we've now got the foam off. It is kind of complete. I guess I could use it as a template if someone could make me something to match, if that's possible. Alternatively, I'm thinking if the worst case comes to the worst, maybe there's some kind of improvisation I can do involving some Hessian and some glue, and just to kind of cover it. The back side here is just horrendous, as you can see, but it does look like someone's used Hessian before, maybe to seal it. I don't know if that's how they were made or what, but maybe I could do that again. But as you can see, the quality of the foam isn't brilliant. It is just rotted away, having been in the water for so long as a lake, but it is still in shape. So there is hope that I can use it in some way, either to remanufacture or maybe to replace in some way. I'll have a look on the internet and see what I can find, because obviously we want to make this a comfortable seat to sit in, and right now it doesn't look that comfortable from where I'm standing. Now I've been scraping the metal frame quite hard, and question mark whether it's salvageable or not. It probably will need a little bit of welding once it is cleaned up, assuming it will take some cleaning up, because if you look down here we have horrendous rust problems. That's actually, oh well, there you go, it's just broken. Whether we could put a bodge over that or tack a weld it over it, and here has rotted, but I mean the rest of it is okay. You might just get away with it if we really have to use it, then you know, with a bit of powder coating or cleaning up and repainting, it might just do. But I think the jury's out a little bit, given the overall condition of everything we've seen today, which is a bit of a shame really. But I shall have a look on the net and see what I can find, like I said. Okay, well I really wanted to find out, and I think I have found out. That frame doesn't look too bad. I've had a push, might just make a bit of a fix, as long as I just titivated it up and maybe touched it with a little bit of welding. This cushion I think is going to be basically US, but if we can use it, as I said before, to use as a copy or to do something with, then that'll be great. But as you can see here, it looks like the SOM on this side, still bits of metal stuck to it, so it's really not going to be that good at all. So I'll say we'll see. I'll check online and see if we can find an alternative, and I'll bring you up to date in due course. And just to keep my options open, rather than risk it being lost in the garage or badly moved around, I've just stuck a bin liner over it. I'll do one this side as well, just taping it down to hold it together, just so I've got it in one piece for preservation. Okay guys, so there we are. That's this afternoon's work. Yes, it always looked a bit iffy when I was moving it around the garage in one piece, but now I've taken it to bits. I'm not filled full of inspiration, if I'm really honest. So what I'm going to do, as I say, I'll have a look online, see what I can find, maybe talk to the guys in Southampton about possibly powder coating this, maybe even a touch of welding as appropriate, and let's see what we can do about this this foam. There are local suppliers in Bournemouth. I may be able to have a conversation with one or two of those, but I'll keep you posted as we move forward. But thanks for watching. It's been great to have you along. Don't forget to like and share and subscribe, and please feel free to keep the emails and the messages coming worldwide. It's great to see the Arry the Stag group getting bigger and bigger all along. So good news. Don't forget your badge of honour. If you haven't got one already, go onto our website www.arrythestag.com/badge-of-honour. Put in your details and we'll send you one of these free of charge. Alright guys, have a great week, and I'll see you online on Arry the Stag very soon. All the best guys, cheers for now.